So hey there, how are you doing? I wanted to get on here and make a little video, probably a long video. You know me, once I get talking. So we're at a pivotal time in modern history. Coronavirus, a lot of astrological transits going on that are calling for deep, deep change, and I just wanted to throw in my 2 cents and maybe help you out with some different insights because there's a lot of speculation about what's going on. And so I realize that probably the topic of this, and at this time, some people are going to be called to this video that are maybe not used to me, but I have been I was very clairvoyant at a young age, chased out of me when I was entered into high school, and always looking at things through different layers other than the obviousness, you know. Always a health food freak, always chasing the information with a great degree of groundedness. I've been hiding out here at the Southern California Vipassana Center because I'm doing a lot of help with volunteering to do the expansion work here, and so I've been a little bit off grid with, I guess, the sort of maelstrom of like conspiracy stuff and all of what's going on. So let's just talk about stuff from the point of view of, firstly, I think everybody that's like a little bit tuned in knows that we were headed to a time of change. And usually the best way for change, or the way that for people that have already been changed or are part of a group of people that are changing, as in your friend circle. And for me, I have a little bit of a hard time with when I actually do really find out about the stupid motherfuckers that are out there that are just dumb. So because I've had a tendency to sort of surround myself with like-minded people, and I really haven't had a hell of a lot of exposure, and I've been kind of hermity, so not a lot of exposure to just a big flood of mainstream stupidity. I don't watch TV. Sort of educate myself with what I want through books, good YouTube stuff, what have you. So the right way that many people have been changing, or this idea of change, because again, I was saying in one of my videos, we're at a time where there is like some really high level people here, of people that are in a place where no humans have been, in terms of like wellness, like how they eat, in terms of like meditation. Like there are like these like Buddha people, these Jesus people in every city that are just astounding. You can't even, these people stood out a couple thousand years ago because everybody was just lost, but now we have so many amazing people. I'm in a group of people, and they're so humble about it. My 4 or 5 friends that I have, all males, all young males too. I might add, I want to throw that in there right now to like anybody that's watching me. The universe is always delivering what we need, and don't have a motherfucking attitude about millennials, because while they may be like a little bit off with the things that you think you know, I can tell you that I'm ashamed of my generation. I really don't care for anybody over 35, generally speaking, okay? These are all the people that have landed us to where we are right now. There's like people are like, oh, let's just have things the way they used to be. What's good about it? What's good about it? So I'm very much a future thinking that the universe is always dropping in what we needed to do. That being said, what I said though, having that darkness for us to see, and that's what we're getting now, is having a darkness. And how you achieve this is by being positive, by having a practice, by being healthy, by staying on the high road. Just what I said in the other video, of being moral, of seeing things as they are, of not getting caught up in television staticky crapola. So let's recapitulate back to where I thought I was, which is to say that about the split right now. Almost forgot where I was. You thought I did, didn't you? You thought I was going to go off on some Keyth weirdness of like losing my train of thought. But of there is such a split. And there's a guy, Phil Good, and I'm going to get this video up as soon as I'll put a link to some of his videos. And a lot of people who talk about this idea of us going 5D, and there are clearly people that are on a high level, and there are clearly people that are on a low level of all time. You just look around. If you're probably on my channel, you're somebody that's like realizing this, and then you see all these other stupid motherfuckers that are just stupid, that are just lost, that are basically not even human. I mean, they're in human form, but they're like their consciousness, their spirituality is checked out. They're just they're just gone. So we don't need to talk about that anymore, except to get on with my point about the way that change happens in the best way with all of us that have been changing, some of us all of our lives. I'm 57. Is this idea that we each change. Like there was a while, like maybe with 2012, where people were like waiting for aliens to come save us, or for Jesus to come save us, or something like that. But we're already in the rapture. The second coming is the rise of the Christ inside of us becoming realized, and all of us, a group of us, rising up. And so the way that we've all been changing, and the way that we've been creating this group, which is contributing, like some of us that are as old as me. I'm not saying that everybody that's 57 and 60 and 75 are idiots, because I learned from some amazing people back in the early 80s during the beginning of the New Age movement. So, but I'm just saying, in general, as a whole, there's nothing that any older generation has to be proud of in terms of like the waste that they've laid. So let me get back to the point. Be the change, right? Be the change. So we've come to this point now where enough people have not been the change. And so now the universe is going to ram that shit down your throat. And so all of us that have like already see that the road, the right road, the real change, the real healing is with daily practice, through good meditation, through morality, through seeing that we are spiritual beings in physical bodies. We're doing all right. I'm fine in this, of where you're just not looking things for as they are. So this has been planned. This has been in the cosmos to be coming for a while. So this alignment of planets. Here I want to do a slight digression. So let's just do a little like check mark and remember that I was starting to talk about that this is nature. That nature is. This is the earth. This is the place in earth. It has like radically brought in civilization to its knees with, our economy. There seems to be like a whole bunch of people that like think that the flow of whatever we've been doing is so freaking important. So where I want to go with this is just to say that this astrology goes way back with this time coming, and today is the day that lots, we get Jupiter conjunct Pluto in 3 days on Saturday. By the way, there's a group meditation. I'll probably do another video talking about the worldwide meditation, which is going on at the exact moment that Jupiter and Pluto conjunct in Capricorn. Get on this program, be a part of the high level of stuff, and realize that this change is very necessary. Jupiter and Pluto is about the purging of all the darknesses. A lot of people are going to be very resistant to this, and they're not going to get it. They're not going to get it, and they're going to just freak out and flip out. But this is all good. This is all good. So at the end of this, like 50 million people are going to die in just a few days' time. Pollution's cleaned up from no airplanes, no cars, from, you know, something about the waters in Venice are cleared. Just things are cleaning up. And so our economy is like gone to shit, which is supposedly so important, which is what we base everything off of. Like, there's no issues ever talked about that are sensible. I think somewhere in the beginning of this rant, where I kind of lost my train of thought, but it's amazing to me that the astrology is not talked about on the news. This is just proof that there's just dumb motherfuckers that are like running shit. Because, so I've said this before with stuff, I don't know about what, but scientific procedure is that you can validate results. Second step in scientific procedure is that another person or group of people can also validate results. So we have all of history going back telling us about astrology. So why don't we talk about astrology in the news? They could have been for 10 years preparing for this. Instead, we have Donald Trump at the last final hour, like sitting there playing like children kindergarten games of like, oh, they're trying to make me look bad. And now it's like, but I don't know, just the whole world of science itself is kind of like stupid, that you can't look at something because we don't analyze things in that way or something like that. I mean, my God, my whole journey with like HIV, there's numerous healing of all diseases. None of this stuff is talked about because it's just, people don't, it's just, I don't even know, it's just a freaking crazy puppet show. But my point is just the astrology. We didn't know that it was going to be a virus. When I say we, I'm a fan of astrology, and there are people now so readily available that are such good astrologers on YouTube to deliver to you, and like pretty much everybody, every one of them that's main player in YouTube astrology scene has been saying that this time coming up, it started kind of in November as Pluto and Saturn were coming in together, and just this big, what I call logjam in Capricorn of just, and all this shit started going down, and I was telling people. And then back in 2018, we had Uranus move into Taurus. And there's just all these history can be marked by all this stuff. Like every time Uranus changes sign, there's a natural catastrophe. So when Uranus changed sign into Aries, we had Fukushima. When Uranus changed sign again into Taurus, we had the Hawaiian Islands go off. There's just always some kind of natural disaster. And so what I'm trying to say is just, I want to get back to that this is all a natural thing, you know, of cleansing, and we will never be the same again. The Uranus-Taurus thing, upside down structures of security of what we think we know. They've been saying that this is going to be a dark age. This is a cleansing period. It's a transformational period of just getting back to some kind of level of sensibility. This is a big change. This has nothing to do, like people get so caught up in such little games, like this is an election year. The fact that this is an election year has nothing to do with the fact that we've been entering the Aquarian age since 1950. and people have been changing and becoming better, and we've had some downfalls and we've had some odd stuff, but that's all a part of learning. Out of darkness cometh light. So I definitely have felt the most radical change in my life of like doing things that I never, I mean, it started with everything. I was actually reading some journals. It's a good time to start journaling. I was taking some time to go through some of my journals from 20 years ago, and there's just a way that I thought I really started getting it together spiritually and getting my gig together. I mean, I know I've been a raw vegan for 35 years and just doing stuff and being, off on an alternative, like lust for life, like spiritual lust for life on my own kind of trip of like being into tarot cards and looking at what's really going on, and not really getting carried away in any kind of conspiracy thing, but just living my own life. But what I do want to say is that this will come to an end. It's going to slow down in July and August and look a little bit better, and then it's going to get crazy again once Jupiter conjuncts with Saturn in Aquarius on winter solstice. And then towards the beginning of 2021, we start seeing some good stuff going on. But when all is said and done, we're going to slowly come out of this. Like I said, 50 million people are going to die. The economy is going to be destroyed, and there's going to be a cleaner planet, and some people are going to spend this time to go inward, and they're going to go, we made it. And like, why did we ever live the way we did before? And that's what's going to happen. So things will not be the way they were. And I hope, it's hard to even imagine what the stupid people are going to do. I think it's important not to think about the stupid people, really. I've been around a lot of stupid people in my life. Like I said, I've sort of surrounded myself with influential people, and I kind of like see, like just some of my own peeps that are like around me are stupid. And so I think that when you're good on the inside, it just kind of doesn't matter, of like where what the truth is. I think that's all I have to say about it. But this coronavirus is a blessing from nature to shift. And so the coronavirus has nothing to do with it. My own thing, me personally and my close friends, I just was like talking about doing this video of break on through to the other side. Like, it's like the death card in the tarot. Like, I just went through this doorway where, like, before in my life I was just taking slow steps, climbing, where I didn't even realize that I was definitely changing faster than other people. But I always wanted these big leaps, and I took this big leap when I came out here to the Vipassana Center. I met Ryan, and I'd already been friends with John and Dan that were just amazing with me getting established in Dhamma, which is hardcore meditation practice. That's the trump card in healing, of getting your mental stuff right, and all the ways that you can eat, all the vitamins, all the superfoods that you can take, all the super herbs, ain't shit compared to having your mental shit together, motherfucker. I'm telling you, like, it's a whole different world when you really realize that you can create these mountains out of molehills in your mind with things that are that. And you just really learn to see things as they are, and you learn that we're temporary, that we're actually these eternal spiritual beings in these physical bodies that have all these senses that like come in and get us distracted, and you can get addicted to those senses, sex, sensations with friends, your ego, thinking that you need to be with certain people, and you just come to a place. I've kind of always been on that trip. I'm going to pat myself on the back. I've always really been into like knowing that I'm the whole deal. I mean, from my being a very hermetic, raw vegan all my life and sort of ignoring my friends and being really into like electronic music, and only lately have I really gotten into actually having a group of friends other than just like maybe some one-on-one stuff. And I still am a little bit like, what do you call that, skittish with big groups of people. I'm all right with it, but it just doesn't satiate me like getting deep into like a person or two and just finding out and connecting. But Dhamma is where it's at, and that's meditation, and that's not, start where you're at. So if it's like some kind of guided meditation, or some contemplation of just spending quiet time and just letting your thoughts go, of just stopping life. And then more when you're at it, you can start, when we're over this, take a 10-day Vipassana course. Call it void meditations. Ray Maor calls it the same thing. I'm going to put a few links down in the bottom of this video here to some stuff, some feel-good stuff, this Ray Maor video. And just be well, because we're going to come out of this in a really good way. It's not going to be just next week, and the answer to this is not going to be who gets elected next president. It's going to be this complete universal change. All right, then, it's Keith. Support me by supporting my music, links in the drop down. What else can I say? I would like it if you would contact me in some way, manner, shape, or form, and maybe purchase some CDs from me. All my videos are always free. My rants are crazy, but they're authentic. They're real. I'm a real person. I've weathered this. I'm 57, and I'm kind of ageless, because I've been tapped into the spirit of what really is, and ignoring all the lies and the bullshit. So it's Keith, over and out. Bright blessings. Namaste. Metta.